I searched through YouTube and TikTok for the most viral Killjoy setups, and today I'm going to be testing them out and seeing if they're any good. And later in this video, I even hit an ace with one of these newfound setups, so stick around for that. This first setup is made by pro player Cloud9 Zelsis, so it's got to be a good one. So first, you put your turret on boat, okay? So it watches market and it watches B main. So first, Molly goes right here by this little edge, okay? Alarm bot goes right on the staircase that goes up. Okay, now this molly's insane. Look at this. So you got to line this up carefully, but you can pick up your swarm if you miss. This lands underneath the lane and the molly goes through the lane up and kills them, so they can't even see it when it's killing them. So then you just basically peek anywhere you want from sight on these swarms when they're running down lane. Let's give it a try. This is my very first attempt on this setup, so I'm able to catch this jet and right clicker. Then my mollies go off lane, I pop them, I do a bunch of damage to this player, but they're scared to peek me, so I isolate this raise. I'm able to kill him, and that's when the omen takes that to swing me. But this guy's so low, he dies almost instantly to my classic. Since the enemy team didn't like hard rush down lane, I wanted to try this setup one more time to see if I can get something to work. And what you can see happen here is the KO runs down lane and he's able to shoot the molly that's on top of lane. I still pop the second molly, swing out, he stands in it, and I kill him, but it stinks that he's able to break that molly very easily. So to perfect this setup and make this setup perfect, I suggest what you guys do is this. You can see me setting up here. I throw the turret on the boat, I run down, I put my alarm bot down, but instead of doing the molly that's upper on the lane next to the little lip that's there, you want to jump down into sight, look at this little crack right here, and throw it on the ground. This molly will do the same thing as the other one, but it won't be spotted, and it'll do damage to the people up top, and once again makes it hard for them to see where the molly circle is, so they take extra damage. Here's a clip with the updated setup. Watch this. Fire setup. Overall, this setup is an 8 out of 10, but instead if you drop the molly in sight instead of lane, it gets that extra value, making the setup a 10 out of 10. Try it in your rank games. This Killjoy setup has a lot of views. Let's check it out. So first we put the alarm bot to the left of the staircase, and this alarm bot's actually pretty decent. Turret in the corner. Why? What does this turret hold? What does this turret do for you? Your turret is holding the exact same spot as the alarm bot does, and they're just gonna walk in and break it. So first swarm we have is this molly right here. It lands on the side, and this molly does damage to the top of the site and the bottom of the site, and then the second swarm goes on the staircase. My main problem with this setup is all the utility is really redundant in one spot, and the enemies are just going to walk in, bait out the alarm bot, walk back, and none of these swarms are going to get any damage. So here's a better setup you should use. First, I would put my turret up on this box all the way back instead of throwing it bottom sight. I would throw my first swarm in this corner, this little crack right here. This gets a lot of value. Then I would put my alarm bot next to the doorway right here, so when they walk out, then it'll go off. And then I'll put my swarm right here. And you pop this swarm and this swarm. So the people in main back here are taking damage, and the people running up in the site are also taking damage and being hit by the alarm bot. This video is by Not Joey Black and it has 740,000 views. It is a setup for B-side of bind. First, you start by putting your alarm bot underneath hookah, and then you put this first swarm directly underneath hookah on this little mound, and if you miss it, it will not work properly. I actually have used that swarm before in my Killjoy guide on bind. It is a really powerful swarm, and a lot of people don't expect it because it does damage through the ground into the people in hookah, so you can get a lot of damage dealt by the people jumping out and the people getting ready to jump out. This second swarm is just in the middle of the open here, right in front of the tube. This looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. This is my first attempt, and they're executing the B site. The jet jumps out of hookah, hits my alarm bot. I pop both of my swarms. The jet takes no damage to the molly under hookah because she jumped out past that first swarm already and just runs in and kills me. So this is where I think I need to change that second swarm and move it over to where people are more likely to pass. In my mind, there's a giant gap right here where a lot of people are jumping out and landing on, and in my clip, the jet jumped out, ran through the swarms, and just killed me, right? So in my mind, I think it'd be better if you throw your swarm here. Like the first one is still really good, but I would then throw my second one over here to cover that gap up, so when the people jump out of hookah, all of this gets completely covered, right? One's still in hookah.
I think just faking it.
We got one! So not that his swarm is inherently bad, I think there's just a higher chance you might get a little bit of extra value by putting your swarm here instead. No hate to Joey at all, he makes some good setups. That's just how I would make it a little bit better. This next Killjoy setup is by Joltira, and it has 135,000 views. Let's give it a watch.
My best Killjoy setup on Lotus A site that will have you dropping in. Hi.
We love the ace. We love the ace.
I'm Joltira. I'm an Immortal Killjoy main. I teach you Killjoy setups and tips to rank up. Place your turret on top of these boxes. This will stall anyone pushing a tree onto site.
I like this turret a lot because it makes people mess up their crosshair placement when they peek tree, because they're gonna have to look up and then it allows you to peek and maybe get a kill.
Place your alarm bot here. Make sure the edge of the alarm bot touches this corner.
See, I like that alarm bot a lot because it makes the enemies have to walk in a little bit, so when they back up, they're gonna be getting damaged by the swarms.
And right click to have a molly land here.
This is a really good molly, and a lot of people don't really expect this to be here.
With the second molly placement. If they have a jet or neon, I highly recommend placing it here. If they have a phoenix or a Reyna, you can place your molly here.
This looks pretty cool. Let's give it a try. So I hear the enemies start pushing into sight. So the alarm bot goes off. I pop both my mollies. They take a little bit of damage from the swarms, and then they end up backing up. So I stop the push, buy my teammates a little bit of time to rotate. The enemies keep pushing in, so I'm able to get all three of these enemies here, and it looks super nice. And we got a nice little hold on the A site here. I will tell you guys, the only flaw to this setup is a lot of the time the enemies will run up the stairs and then peek your teammates and spawn and catch them off guard. So make sure you let your team know that that can happen. Overall, I give this setup a 9 out of 10, and it's really nice to have a little bit of variety instead of just setting up on the C site over and over again. This is another video by Joltira, and she kind of shows off a bunch of different swarms, and this one at the C site I really liked. It's where you throw it in the corner on the top site of C, so it does partial damage to the people running into the site, but it mainly does damage to the people trying to run towards waterfall and catches a bunch of damage there. Plus, it's really good because the Raze who throws satchels and nades in there, that swarm won't be broken, and it's not in the stereotypical spot, and people won't really expect it. So I wanted to give this one a try. This is what the Killjoy setup looks like right here, and now check out this clip I hit with it in game. So first my turret goes off, so I pop both the swarms. They end up getting hit by my alarm bot, so I know they're running through. Now I know they can't push my waterfall, so I'm holding bend. I'm able to pick off this Astra right away because she was low, and then this jet swings me also low, able to kill her. Then I do swing this Phoenix main and die, but this setup really did its job. I would rate this setup a 10 out of 10, especially if a Raze keeps throwing a satchel and breaking those swarms. So this person starts by putting their turret on top of the mid site of A, okay? And then we go art, and we put our first swarm on the third step, and then the alarm bot against the barrier, okay? And then you aim above the box, and you throw your swarm, and it bounces off the wall and lands on the box. This is really cool. And they say to play behind this box and you swing off the utility. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is my first attempt. It's the second round of a game where we lost pistols, so we're broke. But I do set this up, and the enemies are pushing me. So they run in, I pop my swarms, and they're fighting my turret. I'm able to peek, kill the Astra with a double dink on the classic, and she died to my swarm. Dink another person. The jet swings me, and I dink her as well. I do end up getting killed here, but I got a lot of damage on the molly, somewhere around 80. So this shows the setup has huge potential if I could get a gun. Here's my second attempt on the setup. This time I have a gun. The enemies run in, I pop both my swarms. I kill one with the swarm and one with my gun, which is huge. And then I swing again, knowing that they can't be in art, so I hold this angle here and I'm able to get 2 of them. Then I end up rushing this Reyna down and finishing off this clip with an ace. This setup is 10 out of 10. I highly recommend you try this one in your rank games. It is super killer and nobody expects it.
Dude, you're nuts.
That's all for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe and let me know in the comments if you guys want to see me test more Killjoy setups.